KServe Transformer, bridging application payloads, and model inference protocols. In this video, we explore how to add a transformer to a KServe inference service so that your client applications never have to worry about the details of the model's inference protocol. In production at ML serving, the format a model expects almost never matches what client applications naturally produce. KServe models follow the v2 Open Inference Protocol, a strict schema-enforced format, but clients typically work with simpler, field-named JSON objects. Forcing clients to construct v2 payloads leaks infrastructure concerns into application code. KServe solves this with the transformer, a lightweight sidecar that intercepts every request and response, centralizing all data marshaling and business logic in one place, independent of the model. We'll walk through the full lifecycle, writing the Python code, packaging it as a Docker image, deploying it on Kubernetes, and connecting a Streamlit client to the end-to-end pipeline. You'll need a Kubernetes cluster with KServe installed, covered in the previous video in this series, the kube control CLI configured against your cluster, Docker and access to a container registry such as Docker Hub, Amazon ECR, or Google Artifact Registry, and Python 3.11 or later for local development. This video builds on the Iris classifier inference service from the previous article. The predictor is reused unchanged. Let's start with the concept. A transformer is a specialized KServe component that acts as a protocol and data adapter between clients and model predictors. It is deployed as an additional container within the same inference service pod, and KServe automatically routes all inbound requests through it before they reach the model. From the client's perspective, the transformer is completely transparent, or it exposes the same HTTP endpoints as the predictor. Internally, every request passes through two developer-defined hooks. The first is preprocess. It receives the raw client request and transforms it into the format the model predictor expects. The second is postprocess. It receives the model's raw response and transforms it into the format the client expects. This design cleanly separates two distinct concerns. ML inference is owned by the model. Data adaptation is owned by the transformer. The model image stays a pure ML artifact, while all protocol translation, feature engineering, and business logic live in the transformer. Without a transformer, every client must independently construct protocol-compliant payloads. Any model change forces updates across all clients, and developers must understand ML infrastructure details unrelated to their domain. A transformer acts as a stable contract boundary. Clients send data in whatever format is natural. The transformer handles all translation. Key use cases include format conversion between application, JSON, and the v2 protocol, on-the-fly feature engineering, data enrichment from a feature store, converting raw model outputs to human-readable labels, and PII scrubbing before data reaches the model. KServe exposes two endpoint families, the v2 endpoint /v2/models/name/infer strictly enforces the Open Inference Protocol. Fast API validates the request body before your preprocess method is called. This ensures compatibility with v2-compatible platforms like NVIDIA Triton, Selden Core, Bento ML, and ML Flow. The v1 endpoint /v1/models/name::predict accepts any well-formed JSON with no schema validation. The raw dictionary is passed directly to preprocess. Use this when you control the client and want a simpler payload format. That's the pattern used throughout this video. In the previous video, the Streamlit client manually constructed v2 payloads, tightly coupling it to the model's protocol. Now the transformer takes over that job. The client sends 4 fields: sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width, all in centimeters. The response contains a single field: predictions, a list of species name strings. The data flow: the client posts its simple JSON to the transformer's v1 endpoint. Preprocess converts it to a v2 inference request and forwards it to the predictor. The predictor returns a v2 response with an integer class index. Postprocess maps that index to a species name and returns the clean result to the client. The client payload is a straightforward JSON object with 4 named fields corresponding to the iris flower's botanical measurements. It's self-documenting and completely decoupled from the inference protocol, no ML infrastructure knowledge required on the client side. The transformer converts the client payload into V2 format. The 4 feature values are packed into a flat array inside a tensor descriptor that declares the name, shape, 1 sample by 4 features, and data type, which is 32-bit floating point. This is the payload forwarded internally to the predictor. The predictor returns a V2 response whose data field contains an integer class index. The mapping is 0 for iris setosa, 1 for iris versicolor, 2 for iris virginica. The post-process hook resolves this index to the corresponding name. After post-process, the transformer returns a simple JSON object with a predictions field containing a list of species name strings. This format is stable regardless of how the model's internal output changes. The client is fully shielded. The Iris Transformer class extends KServe's model base class, which provides the HTTP server, routing, and lifecycle hooks. A module-level constant IRIS_classes maps class indices to species names, avoiding recreation on every request. The constructor takes the model name, the predictor host, injected by KServe at runtime, and an optional protocol string. Setting self.ready to true immediately signals the readiness probe. The preprocess method casts each measurement to float, guarding against integer or string-encoded inputs that would fail type validation, then wraps the values in a V2 compliant tensor descriptor. The predict method is declared async to avoid blocking the event loop during the HTTP call to the predictor. It calls the predictor directly via HTTPX, bypassing a known KServe 0.16 issue where the predictor config context variable isn't propagated to Uvicorn worker subprocesses. A 60-second timeout and raise for status protect against slow or failing predictors. The postprocess method extracts the data array from the first output tensor, maps each integer index to a species name using the lookup table, and returns the predictions dictionary. A defensive empty list check prevents crashes on unexpected response shapes. The entry point uses serve.modelServer.parser with parse known args, so the standard KServe flags are accepted without redeclaration. Then model server start launches the UVicorn server. Now we'll build the transformer container image. First, let's review the directory structure. The image is based on Python 3.11-slim to minimize size. Python unbuffered = 1 ensures log lines stream immediately to the pod log, essential for Kubernetes observability. Only curl is added as a system dependency. The package cache is cleaned to keep the layer small. The KServe SDK is pinned to 0.16.0, which also pulls in Uvicorn and HTTPX automatically. Port 8080 is declared with expose, the default KServe model server port. The entry point runs the transformer script directly, and KServe injects the model name and predictor host flags at pod startup. Build and push the image to your registry before deploying. The image used in this guide is my custom Docker image. The InferenceService YAML manifest is extended with a transformer section. The predictor section is unchanged from the previous video. It uses the SA-S3- service account for S3 access via IAM roles for service accounts, and the KServe SK learn server runtime. The transformer section specifies our custom container image. KServe automatically injects the predictor host, so no manual service discovery is needed. Apply the manifest with kube control apply, then verify with kube control get. The inference service should reach ready true with a populated URL within a minute or two. Send the 4-field JSON payload to the v1 predict endpoint. The service_hostname follows the pattern name -namespace.domain. The host header enables Istio gateway routing. Pipe the response through JQ. If the response shows iris setosa, the full pipeline, preprocess, predictor, postprocess, is working end-to-end. The Streamlit app reads the InferenceService host name and model name from environment variables, so the same image works across environments without rebuilding. 3 helper functions handle the logic. Build_payload assembles the 4-field JSON object. Get_prediction posts it to the transformer endpoint, returning none on failure and surfacing errors both in the server log and in the Streamlit error widget. Parse_prediction safely extracts the first species name from the response. The UI provides 4 sidebar sliders for the botanical measurements, ranges set to the iris dataset's observed distribution. The main panel shows metric cards and a classify button. On click, the app posts the payload, displays a spinner, then shows the predicted species in a green banner with expandable sections for the raw response and the sent payload. Run locally with Streamlit Run, or deploy the containerized app on Kubernetes via Argo CD. Pre-processing patterns include feature engineering, computing-derived features like log transforms or ratios on the fly, tokenization and BPE encoding for NLP workloads, image resizing and normalization for vision models, schema validation to reject bad inputs before they hit the GPU, feature store lookups to enrich sparse requests, multimodal fusion of image URLs and text prompts, A/B routing based on request headers, and PII scrubbing before data reaches the model log. Post-processing patterns include class index to label mapping, threshold and top K filtering of confidence scores, ensemble aggregation across multiple predictors, probability calibration with Platt scaling or temperature scaling, response enrichment with metadata like model version or latency, embedding decoding via nearest neighbor search, audit logging for drift monitoring, and currency or unit formatting for pricing models. Cross-cutting patterns include Redis, caching to short-circuit the predictor on repeated requests, rate limiting with HTTP 429 responses, shadow mode evaluation against a candidate model without affecting the visible response, canary gating, to gradually roll out new model versions, and AIR AG pipelines that embed queries, retrieve documents, and augment prompts in pre-process, then clean up chain-of-thought tokens in post-process. The transformer pattern offers 4 key advantages: separation of concerns, models stay pure ML artifacts, business logic has its own release cycle in the transformer, protocol independence, clients send any JSON shape, the transformer absorbs all V2 complexity, reusability, one transformer fronts multiple model versions with no changes required when the model is retrained, independent scaling, transformer pods and predictor pods scale separately, so CPU heavy feature engineering does not compete with GPU inference. The KServe Transformer decouples application data formats from ML inference protocols, letting models and clients evolve independently without breaking the contract between them. In this video, we implemented Iris Transformer with all 3 lifecycle hooks, packaged it as a Docker image, extended the InferenceService manifest, validated the pipeline with curl, and connected a Streamlit client to the full stack. The use case catalog shows how the same pattern scales to feature store enrichment, ensemble aggregation, RAG pipelines, and canary deployments, all without touching model code. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more MLOps and Kubernetes native AI content. Source code and documentation links are in the description.